Hello, hello. I am Stephen Edwards. I'm your host of Team Brave New World. We are working on getting the bugs figured out on using Zoom as a streaming support for YouTube on how it connects. So, with this program, we should be able to start bringing guests in live and be able to show content as well. So again, this is kind of an experiment. We're going to be making bunches of mistakes as I try to figure this thing out. So please bear with me. And at some point, we should be able to allow some of y'all in the audience to begin dialing in through the Zoom connection. And a little bit further on, you'll be able to dial in through phone. But for now, let's see if we can make this thing work. All right, so tonight's show is going to be about what's termed white rain. And white rain was a term used in a book called Seven Eves. And at some point, a bunch of debris had come in from a moon that had been shattered, our moon. And all of the small meteorites essentially caused a multi-year meteor storm, if you will, or shower that eventually destroyed the surface of the earth. Now, we're not expecting anything on that scale or that magnitude, but we are expecting some debris to be coming in a more significant capacity in the next 3 months, and that will probably continue to grow in a sense. As soon as I get updates from the scientist and I'm getting it from, then I'll pass it on to you. So let's get started. First up, well, today was the 1 year anniversary of the Space Force, and Space Force will probably be key in at least warning us of what's coming. So first off, we have Vice President Pence with the new name for the individuals that will be in the Space Force. All right, so you have it, Guardians. I know there are a lot of people out there that were wanting cadets and some other comical terms, but something better than that worked out. I'm thinking with a little bit more work, they could have probably come up with a better term, but Guardians it is. So we've got airmen, soldiers, sailors, and guardians. All right, and close that one out. Next, we had the secretary. She was, this is, I believe, the Secretary of the Air Force. She was next. Okay, so I got a heads up when this was taking place a little while back, and yes, the key there was the space debris, and this space debris, believe, is what we are dealing with right now. So this is what they were referring to. I'm not sure if they're ever going to admit to it just yet, but we believe that's what it was. According to the scientist that's working for the government, he was saying that the space debris, with the debris cloud that we are flying into, was the reason why they had to move the space station. All right, so we started looking at some of the assets that we're aware of that are online. So here, the U.S. Air Force launched the largest uncrewed structure in space, but we know that we're expecting an announcement of a crewed weaponized platform in the not too distant future. It'll be announced this coming year, 2021. There'll be a lot of things being announced in 2021. This one is called a DSX. It was launched in a SpaceX aircraft, and what it's supposed to do is measure cosmic radiation and how that might affect future spacecraft. But looking at this design here, I'm thinking it does a lot more than just that. They're just not telling us. But that's their business for now. But if you take a close look at some of the items that are on there, you can probably figure it out. All right. So there's that little tidbit. Now, there were some comments made here. So this was an article where an interview was done, and I'm trying to have to use the fingers on the mouse pad here. So that should look familiar to some of you. And so there's some interviewing being done by 60 Minutes. And in the course of the interview, it's just a couple sentences here. The only two things that you told me about the U.S. ability to fight in space are the ability to maneuver your satellites and to jam other satellites. Is that it? CBS News anchor or CBS News David Martin asked the general, and then General Hyten responded with, "That's not it, but that's all I can tell you." So he made it very clear that there's a lot more that they have up in space that they're admitting to. So we have that. Now, so we've got this meteor, an unusual meteor. It was 3 football fields long and about 30 meters wide that passed by Earth not too long ago. And they knew something was unusual about the meteor back in 2018, the way it was moving and accelerating through our space. And at the time, they weren't telling us all the details that had their attention. The shape was certainly unusual as it was. That was not a normal shape for a meteor, and they did admit it came from outside of our solar system. So here's this. All right, so there's enough of that. And so even in 2018, they knew there was something unusual about it. Now they tried to write it off as the fact that it would rotate and it was doing the solar heat that it picked up on the one side facing the sun as it rotated, it would be kicked off the backside, creating a kind of an acceleration. But in another article that came out recently this year, after it already passed, scientists that were reviewing the data and the government scientists specifically said that this thing was moving in a way that could not possibly be explained by natural activity. And they basically said that this was a intelligently navigated object. So that said, I got the next warning that the debris coming through in the next 90 days has more objects like Oumuamua in it. Now, we're not able to get them to go any further than that, and maybe that will happen as we get closer to this debris cloud. But again, I'm being told that the debris cloud, the thicker part of it that we're getting ready to go through for the next 90 days, has objects like Oumuamua embedded in that cloud. And it remains to see, what this was really going to turn out to be after all. Hopefully these things will get close enough that we might be able to get some samples to figure out what it is. And again, as you can see, as late as August, they're still debating on what this thing was, the first one, and they are trying to posit that it was H2, hydrogen, but they're saying that the way hydrogen works, particularly out in space, that wasn't possible either, which is giving more and more credibility to the thought that this was not a normal meteor. So again, more articles about Oumuamua, and that's what it would look like based on our own satellites or telescopes being able to get an image of this. And he'll be repeating pretty much the same thing in the other articles. But again, there are some more images of what they thought it would be. Now, some try to make the comparison to the Battlestar Galactica, but what we're seeing here, that's an illustration. But these objects are basically what the telescopes captured. All right. So that's it for this particular topic. I know we're going to try to keep it short. We do have something, and this is going to give you an opportunity to look at what we have going on with this program and how it's interfacing. So what we have next is we're looking at January 4th. We're going to begin a series called Beyond the Veil, and that's understanding the psychic phenomenon and how our human psychics here on Earth operate, what it is that they see and how they see it, and anything else that they're willing to share with us. We're also going to be doing a show in the month of January on how to photograph or video UFOs. That'll be given to us by Mr. Ken Jordan. He's the director of MUFON for Texas. And before I forget, we had over the past 2 days a number of bolides come into our atmosphere. One of them was very significant, but the 3 states in particular that had significant light shows were Tennessee, Florida, and Tulsa. And one of those, the flashing light that came off of the bolide lasted about 25 seconds. So it appears it was on a very shallow and slow trajectory through the Earth's atmosphere, giving us that longer light show. I don't have those videos up yet. We'll probably tackle that on a different show as we focus on the debris, particularly as we get closer to it. Sam, don't worry about it. All right, great. So there's no sound. All right, that's all part of working out the bugs. Can you guys hear it now? All right, I don't know if you guys can give me a thumbs up or say something in chat so I can see what the delay is. All right, I'm cranking up the volume on my end. Is it still quiet? Yeah, we got to fix that. All right, let's see if we can get this part to open up. All right, what I may try doing is unplugging this headset and seeing if it gets any better. All right, how about now? Did that make a difference? Chuck, you still with us? Yeah, I think we've got about a 10-second delay between the Zoom and the YouTube. All right, so you're saying it's still quiet? Chuck, how about you? Okay. I'm checking on my cell phone and seeing if I can get it to my cell phone as well. And now you're saying no sound. Okay. I'm checking on my cell phone and seeing if I can get it to my cell phone as well. And now you're saying no sound. Okay, I'm picking it up on my cell phone, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay. All right. Yeah, Chuck, you should only be hearing just me. I've really not got anything else running right now. I'm thinking maybe that headset's blocked us from being able to hear the video from earlier. I'm going to stop this in a few seconds, and then I'm going to review the video, and then that will give me an idea of where some of the problems might be and how I need to fine tune it, or if I need to find a new streaming service. Chuck, Sam, thank you very much for your help tonight. I'll probably be trying to do this again tomorrow night, and we will be doing a show on Monday. All right. Thanks again, guys, and have a good evening. God bless you.